Okay, the time is 6:31, so I will call the meeting to order. My name is Joel Watts. I'm Deputy Clerk and Recording Secretary for the Drainage Board, and welcome to the Court of Revision meeting for the August 2nd, 2023 Court of Revision for the Curtin Municipal Drain. We're going to walk through a variety of administrative business, and then the chair will take over from there. Notably, we had a recent Court of Revision meeting where the Court of Revision members and the alternates signed the oath of member of the Drainage Board. So our members of the Court of Revision are Councillor Ashmore, Councillor Joyce, and Charlie Clark, and our alternate members are Robert McEachern and David Skrabic. All five members are here today, although only the three voting members will be participating formally. Mr. McEachern and Mr. Skrabic will just be observing today. But the other four of the members have already signed the oath of the member of the Drainage Board, and that is on file in the clerk's office. I do, however, need an oath for Councillor Joyce. So I will be stating the oath, and then you can just reply. So Councillor Joyce, do you solemnly swear or affirm that you will, to the best of your judgment and ability, and without fear, favor, or partiality, honestly decide on all appeals to the Court of Revision from the assessments arising from provisional bylaws passed by the Corporation of the City of Kawartha Lakes that might be brought before you for trial at any time during your tenure as a member of such court? If you so swear or solemnly affirm, please respond by saying, "I do."
I do.
Great, thank you. So I'll have you sign the oath that is at your desk, and then if you could deliver that to me, that would be great. Thank you very much. All right, so all five members of our Court of Revision have been formally sworn in for the term of 2023 to 2026. All right, the next order of business is to appoint a chair for today's Court of Revision meeting. We will appoint a chair at each Court of Revision meeting that will be held during this term of council. So I need a nomination from our three members as for an appointment for chair. Charlie Clark.
I nominate Councillor Ashmore.
Councillor Ashmore, do you consent to the nomination?
Yes, that's fine.
All right. Are there any other nominations for member of chair for the Court of Revision for the Curtin Municipal Drain? Last call for nominations, and seeing none, by acclamation, Councillor Ashmore, you have been appointed as chair for the Curtin Municipal Drain Court of Revision. So I'll just get you to bring your name tag with you as well, and you can just slot that over top at the desk and take the seat at the chair. Also provided the information there for you.
Okay, thanks for my nominator and to be chair. And so we'll start with 2.3, Joel. Adoption of the agenda. I just need a mover and a seconder to adopt today's agenda for the meeting. If I could have a mover.
Just from the...
Yeah. Okay, okay.
I'll move.
Councillor Joyce, and seconded by member Clark, Charlie Clark. And all in favor? Declarations of pecuniary interest. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest in any item on today's agenda? If so, please advise the court now or declare it in at the time we reach that point in the agenda. Are there any conflicts of interest, pecuniary interest? Okay, none noted. Number 3, Appeals, Court of Revision. The Court of Revision will now consider the preliminary adopted municipal drainage assessment schedule for the Curtin Municipal Drain and any associated appeals. All comments received today by the Court of Revision may be considered as evidence in accordance with the Drainage Act. Okay, and now we'll move on to 3.1 on the agenda. Appeals received prior to May 23rd, 2023. There were no appeals received by the May 23rd deadline.
Sorry, that should read as on the agenda, July 24th.
Okay.
That was our deadline, and I can confirm the clerk's office did not receive any appeals by that deadline.
Okay, thanks. And you haven't received any more late appeals? There's been no other appeals since then? Nothing's been received?
As from the deadline, as of today, we have not received any late appeals.
Okay, if any, to accept a motion is required, so it just need to be a mover and a seconder?
There's no late appeal.
Okay, we don't need that. Okay, we're good. The next session, does the engineer assigned to this municipal drain wish to make any final comment to the engineer's report and the preliminary bylaw? Any comments you'd like to make? You're welcome to say anything.
Maybe you could just confirm if you received any appeals?
Okay, thanks.
No, we've received no appeals.
With no further comments or appeals to be heard at this municipal drain, the Court of Revision will now make a decision on the assessments and provisional bylaw. So we'll move into section 5. Decisions on assessments and provisional bylaw. Just need a mover for this motion. Any questions or just, okay, mover Charlie, seconder Councillor Joyce. That the assessments contained in the Curtin Municipal Drain report by Drainage Engineer K. Smith and M. Hoare, and as provisionally adopted by bylaw 2023-115 are hereby confirmed, that should no other appeals be heard within the prescribed timelines, that council proceed with the third reading of bylaw 2023-115 at the next possible council meeting, city council meeting. We need a mover for that, please. Yeah, moved by Councillor Joyce.
I'll move.
Yep, thank you. Seconded by Charlie. And we'll move on to the next one. Read that one. Yep, sorry, all in favor. Thanks. If the affected property owners are dissatisfied with decisions made today by the Court of Revision, anyone may appeal this decision to the Agriculture, Food and Rural Affairs Tribunal by filing a notice of appeal with the Office of the City Clerk within 21 days of the date of the decision. So that's there is that process if anyone chooses to do that. And now it's getting down to this section number 8.
Before we get there,
Okay, yep.
yeah, I could just confirm the next steps with the engineering department. What would happen for the Curtin Municipal Drain, if you could just advise what the next steps for that would be.
Through you, Mr. Chair. So we'll proceed to the third reading of the bylaw. And after the third reading of the bylaw, we do have a time frame for additional appeals after that. I believe it's 30 days of appeal period. Once that is complete, we'll then put together a tender for the project and tender that project out. Timeline could be fall or most likely probably winter work for this project, as there's a lot of rock that's going to be involved for removal. So it could be a good winter project.
Thanks. I just had a question through to Mike. Would all the permits, like I know some of the other projects we've done, we've had conservation authorities have sort of asked for more time and more permits. Like, do we expect any issues from that And how long does it take for them, like, how long does it take for you to get those permits from them? Just a rough idea.
Through you, Mr. Chair, to the board. So we've already done our preliminary review with Conservation Authority. We've been out there with DM Wills, with Mr. Hoare and Mr. Smith, with the Conservation Authority on site, and reviewed the location, and the report's been forwarded to the Conservation as well for permitting. So they're well aware of the project, and they're kind of on board with what we proposed. And I don't know if you want to add anything else.
Through you, Mr. Chair, no, we obviously can't control exactly their timeline. It can be a matter of months in the past, but we have gone through this appropriate steps to keep them in the loop as much as possible.
Sure. Thanks very much. Are there any questions for staff and for the engineers from the board? Okay, no problem. All right, so we're at the last of the meeting here. So can I get a motion to adjourn the Court of Revision and reconvene the Drainage Board? Just need a mover for that. Charlie?
I so move.
Yep, and then Dan. Thank you. All in favor? All right.
And that's it. Thank
That's
you.
it for the Court of Revision. Thank you very much. Yep.